All right, let's talk chess. Specifically, let's talk about the first 10 moves of the game, because so often that's where the whole thing is won or lost. We're going to build a super simple but really powerful framework so you can start every single game feeling like you've already got an edge.
You know that feeling, right? You're just a few moves in, and suddenly you feel like you're cornered. Your pieces are all tangled up, your opponent is calling all the shots, and you're just scrambling. It's probably one of the most frustrating feelings in all of chess.
But what if I told you the answer isn't to go memorize 100 different opening variations? It's actually way simpler than that. The real secret is just mastering 3 core principles. If you get these right, you can handle any opening with confidence, no matter what crazy stuff your opponent throws at you. So let's get into the first pillar.
Okay, our first pillar is all about this. You have to activate your army. It's that simple. You've got to get your pieces off their starting squares and into the fight. In chess, we call this development. It's literally just the process of moving your pieces from the back row to squares where they can actually do something, where they can control the board, attack, and defend. The faster you get your pieces developed, the stronger your army becomes. It's a race, really.
And the difference is it's night and day. A developed army is buzzing with energy. It's active, coordinated, ready to launch an attack. An undeveloped army, it's just passive and stuck. Seriously, if your pieces are still sitting on their starting squares, you're pretty much playing with a smaller army. You're playing a man down. Now here's one of the biggest mistakes that just kills your development: moving the same piece over and over again. Think about it. Every move you spend wiggling a knight that's already out is a move you're not using to bring a bishop or another knight into the game. The goal is to get your entire team on the field, not just have one star player running around by themselves.
And that brings us to another classic trap: bringing your queen out way too early. I love this quote from Grandmaster Noel Studer. He says you should think of your queen like a quarterback. She's your most powerful piece, for sure. But a quarterback doesn't just run out onto the field alone, right? She needs her offensive line. She needs support.
And here's the crucial part. If your queen is out in the open, every time your opponent attacks her with, say, a knight or a bishop, you're forced to move her again. So what just happened? They developed a new piece, and you just wasted your turn running away. That loss of time, what chess players call tempo, can absolutely wreck your opening.
So that brings us right to our second pillar. You've started activating your army, but where do you put them? You have to conquer the battlefield. And in chess, that means one thing above all else. You've got to control the center.
Look at these 4 squares right in the middle. This is the most valuable real estate on the entire board. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around them. Controlling the center is like taking the high ground in a battle. It gives you a massive advantage. So why is it so important? Well, from the center, your pieces can go anywhere. They have maximum mobility. They can swing over to attack on the king side or the queen side. Central control also carves out pathways for your attack, while at the same time, it cramps your opponent's pieces and boxes them in. Just think about a knight. A knight in the center controls 8 squares. A knight in the corner? Only 2. That's the power of the center right there.
Okay, so you're activating your army, you're fighting for the center, but none of that matters. Absolutely none of it without our third and honestly most important pillar: protect your king.
And the #1 best way to do this in the opening is to castle. This special move is just amazing. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. First, it gets your king out of the dangerous center and tucks him away safely behind a wall of pawns. And second, it brings your rook into the game, activating it. It's a total win-win. I absolutely love this analogy. Once you've castled, you should think of those 3 pawns in front of your king as his personal bodyguards. They're like the elite Swiss guard, and their one and only job is to protect the king.
So let me ask you this. Would you tell the Swiss guard to just abandon their post and go charge into some random fight? Of course not. That's what you're doing when you carelessly push those pawns. It creates weaknesses, little holes in the defense that a good opponent will jump on immediately. You have to keep that pawn shield intact.
Okay, so now that we know the principles, let's flip the script for a second. What do you do when it's your opponent who's ignoring all this stuff? Well, this is where it gets really fun.
Just picture this. You've done everything right. Your army is out, you've got a group on the center, and your king is safe and sound. Meanwhile, your opponent has wasted moves, their pieces are still on the back rank, and their king is just sitting there, stuck right in the middle of the board. It is time to make them pay for it. And the plan is direct. It's brutal. Step 1, open the center. Trade pawns, blow things up, and create open lines for your powerful bishops and rooks. Step 2, push your own pawns forward to drive their pieces back and just gobble up space. And finally, Step 3, attack the king. With the center wide open, your whole developed army can just swarm their exposed king.
This classic quote from the legendary world champion Jose Raul Capablanca just nails it. The opening isn't the time to get super creative and flashy. It's about playing like a book, following these solid, fundamental principles to build a rock-solid dominant position. You save the magic for later.
So if you're going to take away one thing from all this, it's these 3 pillars. It's the whole foundation. First, activate your army through quick development. Second, control the battlefield by fighting for those key central squares. And third, protect your king, usually by castling early.
If you can master these 3 simple ideas, you're not just going to survive the opening anymore. You're going to dominate it. So the next time you sit down at the board and you see your opponent breaking these rules, you'll know exactly what to do. The only question left is, what's your first move going to be to start the attack?